What's up, guys? It's Jack
and AJ
from GrowJack Outdoors, and today it is a Thursday garden update, and man, do we have some progress to show you guys. I'm so excited. These next few weeks are going to be absolutely awesome. So, I'm super excited. Let's get right into it. This is our first watermelon plant. We don't want to show them the watermelon yet. We're just going to show them the plant. So, this plant and that plant kind of tangle into each other like right here. Pretty big plant. This plant's growing the wrong way. I didn't really track it that way. You can see all the extra tarp I have over there, and then all my stuff is growing into the weeds over here, so I can't weed eat right here. But anyways, this plant is doing really good.
I saw.
And I have kind of had a squash bug problem the past week, but I think I got it tamed down. I sprayed last night, and I didn't see any this morning. So
You want me to pull these watermelons?
yeah, pull this.
This one's a big.
We're to where every plant has a watermelon that we're going to keep, so we're just culling the extras. That's what AJ is doing right
I
now.
can't pull that one.
And then what we like to do is just throw them over the fence.
I can throw from right there, but I can.
AJ has to go over there. Yep. And sometimes they bust open, which is pretty cool. So back to the first plant. Here's our watermelon that we're going to keep on this plant. It is looking really good. Probably weighs 10 pounds already.
And
Looking good. I need to clear these vines. It's sitting on the vine. That's what I'm going to do today after this video. Is I'm going to clear out all these vines. And then I'm going to put grates underneath of these so they don't rot out on the bottom.
yeah.
And cover them with tarps just to make sure they don't get sunburnt. Here's our second plant, the plant that ties up into that. This plant is looking good.
It just looks like one big.
This is one of the plants that had squash bugs, but I do not see any today. So that's a good sign. This plant is just taking off. I think this is one of our bigger plants too.
Yeah.
I mean, that one's definitely bigger, but I think this is our second biggest watermelon plant. So
It is
here-
steaming hot out.
here's the watermelon on this plant. This one is probably 10-15 pounds. It's a little bit bigger than that one, so this is our first place watermelon right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's looking good. Oh, see that tan line where the leaf was? It's funny. That one's looking good. I'm super excited.
It is so hot out today.
Yeah, it is very hot out. So again, on that one, I need to clear those vines out and set a grate right there. So that would be good. And here's our third watermelon plant. This is overall the biggest plant we have. This vine comes from it. All these vines come from it. And still shooting more vines. It even goes all the way over here. And this plant also had some squash bugs. It actually had it really bad. But I think we got it under control.
You know what I just figured out? My plant shoots side vines into this plant.
Yeah, your plant's doing really good the past week. Anyways, here's our watermelon on our third plant. This is overall the biggest watermelon so far. Look at that thing.
Yeah. I'm sad. I'm kind of sad because of how the tip looks.
Yeah, the tip's a little bit skinny, but I think hopefully it'll fill out. If not, we'll just have a lopsided watermelon. This one probably weighs around 20 pounds. The fourth and fifth plants, this one not doing anything as usual. And the fifth one, I saw that. Doesn't have much plant to push the watermelon though.
It might push one. You never know.
And our fifth plant, not doing much either. So
But we don't.
now, time for AJ's watermelon.
Yeah.
I'm super excited about this. This plant has had a rough life. Very rough life. It got eaten by deer, torn up by wind. The main vine got totally ripped off. All the leaves got ate. And it still pulled through. And it has a watermelon on. So show us your plant, AJ.
So, I was so sad whenever I figured out the main vine was gone. I thought it would just stay the same size like those were. we're good.
Yeah, I got the same treatment as these, but this one actually pulled through. So that's super exciting.
What in the world?
Yeah, probably busted a watermelon right there. Anyways, this plant is doing really good. And here is his watermelon. Doubled the size from last week. It is incredible how...
Oh, whoa. It has been getting busy.
Yeah, so later I'll come through and pull some of these vines around that are in my way.
That is actually a good spot for my watermelons.
It's a good spot. Makes my life easier. And I'll kind of pull out on this. And I'll set a grate right there. And I'll have a bed sheet over it so it won't get sunburned.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good spot for your watermelon, AJ.
Yeah.
Hopefully it gets 100 pounds.
Yeah. Since it's my watermelon, I'm going to help
Yeah.
with all that stuff.
Yep.
Plus, aren't the grates already ready?
Yeah, we just use shelves from Walmart or Dollar General, wherever. They're just little shelves and they have little grates on the bottom of them. It helps airflow and it also helps it from not rotting.
Yeah, I remember I set those up at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Whenever we were trying to...
Alright, here's this next plant. This plant's actually pretty big. You guys can see my laziness. This plant's just grown around this tub and I just never moved it. It looks like these vines are gonna start crawling over it. Hopefully we'll just have a encapsulated tub.
Yeah,
That'd be funny.
I think it looks kind of cool the way how the vines just follow it around.
Yeah,
and all
it
the
is
way up.
really interesting how all those vines just followed it right there.
And look, this one's already kind of on top.
Yeah. Alright, and here's the watermelon on this plant.
You can barely...
This plant kind of made it easier for me too. I think I only have to move 2 vines underneath of it. And yeah, this watermelon's doing really good. It's probably 9 or 8 pounds. Not as big as the other ones, but she's gonna get there.
I like having to pull all the other watermelons. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, once these plants start setting watermelons, they set watermelons like crazy. Like, you'll have 3 more little watermelons to pick the next day, every single day. And if you don't pick them one day, they'll be like 2 pounds by the next day. If you don't pick them that day, they'll be huge by the next day. So, yeah.
I like throwing them over the fence. That's the only part I like.
Yeah. It is weird how this side has the same size of watermelons, and the smaller side and that side has the large watermelons.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how it just follows along the same size.
Alright, our last plant. This plant is kind of the same as AJ's. It came back from a beating, but it doesn't have any watermelons.
Yeah, I got sad because this was one of our amazing seeds.
Yeah.
And so was that one.
Yeah.
We were hoping to get a lot of watermelons, and one from this one. It just never happened.
Yeah.
This
one is doing pretty good. I don't see any watermelon blossoms on it yet, but I do have hopes that we can get maybe an 80, 50 pounder out of this one by the end of the year. Just something to have for display by my other big ones. So, yeah. That's the garden update. I'm not going to show you guys the pumpkin because there's nothing to see. It already died. So, we're going to go back to the backyard garden, AJ's backyard garden, his cucumbers, tomatoes, peppers, and then I want to show you guys Mom's flower bed because I have some correcting myself to do. You guys watched last week. Mom corrected what I said in the video, so I got to correct it on here. Here we are at the backyard garden. Let's get right into it. We're going to start with the peppers.
This pepper's gotten a lot bigger.
This pepper has gotten bigger, but that one's just the same. But, yeah, there's not much to show. There's no peppers on these. Nothing happening. Now for AJ's wicking tub full of cucumbers. This cucumber plant has gone downhill recently. It's just the leaves are starting to die off.
It's because of all the heat we've been getting.
Yeah, but it's also pushing new vines, so... Yeah, do we have any cucumbers? I think we picked like 2 or 3 on the last week. We picked the 2 that were in here.
Found
the
one.
Behind there. Oh, yep, there's that one. That was
It's
there
not-
last week.
That's not ready yet.
Is it connected? Oh, yeah, barely. Alright. Well, that's the cucumber.
Soon, Bob, I'm sure we're going to have a handful of cucumbers to make a lot of dill pickles.
Yeah. So, here's our tomato plant. And these tomatoes have not been producing that much. There's so many blooms up top, but they're just not turning into anything. We have 2 tomatoes that are still producing, I guess. They're purple.
Those have been there.
It's so weird. Like, look at that. That's a pretty purple. It's not red. It's not black. It's purple. It's really weird.
Those tomatoes, they've been on for like 12 weeks now, and
12 weeks.
for a long time.
Yeah, those tomatoes have been on for over a week for sure. It's pretty weird. But anyways, that's the backyard garden. Hopefully we'll have some tomatoes producing pretty soon. Let's go to Mom's flower bed. We're at Mom's flower bed, and I have a mistake I needed to correct from last week. I showed you guys last week, and I told you guys that one of these plants came from Canada, and it was this one. Our friend Terry sent us some bulbs to plant, and we planted several, but I thought only one came up. And AJ tried to correct me and tell me that that one back there also came from Canada. And I told him, no, you're wrong. But he was right.
Yes.
This one back here also came from Canada. So, that one's really pretty. Thank you to Terry.
I remember we planted that one. It was completely dead, and now it's that.
Yeah, I'm sure Terry's watching this. Tell him thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Terry. He sends us a lot of cool stuff. So I'm not going to show you in depth of the garden right now, but I'll just show you a quick, brief view of it. Were those all bloomed last time?
No, that was an empty.
Those are all pretty.
Yeah. Oh, there's a bee in one.
But there you go. And then this side.
Yeah, Bob. What's your favorite flower in this bed?
I think it's these ones when they bloom. Those ones. These have big, pretty flowers.
Yeah.
And those. I like those succulents.
Yeah. And
Alright.
aren't those supposed to survive in winter?
Yeah, I think those come back. But I don't know. Alright, well, that's the end of the garden update. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next week. Go down there, ring notification bell, like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you on the next video.